What up guys, the PCFarmer here today, bringing you the second video of this series, which is FS15 mods. Today is implements and tools. Okay, coming in at number 5 is the JD Air Seeder. Now this is a massive seeder, one of the biggest ones I've ever worked with on farming simulators before, hence you've got the massive T9 there pulling it. Width is 21 meters I believe, and it is absolutely colossal. Now as you can see, it folds up reasonably tight, but it's still extremely wide. So on maps like the two stock maps that Giant give, obviously Bajorm and Westfields, I think it's Westbridge Farm or something like that, it's absolutely great because the roads are big enough. But on maps like Chellington Extended and Colesbury Farm, it's really not suitable because of the sheer size of it. You just carry on getting stuck, and also you really need to just use it in big fields, otherwise you'll be forever getting caught because it's not the most manoeuvrable thing. As you can see, in this pack there is two different seeders, one that's just seeds and one that seeds and sprays. This is the Cedar and Sprayer, as you can see by the darker tone of when the ground has been seeded. So there's no need for seeding, no need for spraying, just seeding, and you will end up getting a nice yield from your crops. It is £115,500, which is quite expensive, but for the amount of area this seeder can cover, I think it's well worth its money. Okay, number 4 is the Case Mower, the L3 2000. Now this is a mod that I found when I was just flicking through on, I think it was FS15 LT, and it just popped up and I thought, oh, that's quite a good idea. Basically all it is a combine with a forage wagon on the back of it, pretty much. Now as you can see, it's pretty much just been taken from the Case combine, the interior, and it just looks practically like a combine. Now as you can see, there's different functions. You can turn off and on so it does not pick up the grass, so you can use it as mowing. But I'm just going to show you what it's like when you are picking it up. So as you can see, the grass is filling in the back, and using the cutter, which is a 4-meter working width, I can go 12 miles an hour, which isn't too bad, 19 kilometers an hour for anyone that's in kilometers an hour. But it's a pretty good mod that I found, and I'm really enjoying it for things like getting grass. But if I'm mowing ready to pick up baling behind, I will actually use a proper mower. But for this way, it actually works pretty well. Okay, now we can change it so that if we wanted to pick up, like tether it behind, we can actually mow it and leave it behind, as you can see. Now I think this is a good aspect of this mod to make it a little bit better, but still not quite enough to reach the top spot. Okay, now is a trailer that I actually love. I use it all the time, and I think it's one of the best mods out there. Now the reason it's only in number 3 is because it is a reasonably basic mod, but it was between 2 and 3. This could have easily been number 2, but I just really do like the second mod. Now this is the Stewart trailer. It costs 24,200, but obviously as you can see now, it has a cover and it can go on and off as it's rolling off, which I like because a lot of them just suddenly go over it. Now you can change the trailer to take different things. So now it is in a silage mode, so you can also change the railings on the side of silage mode. Then you can also change it again back down, and it would decrease the size into being able to take things like potatoes and sugar beet. Now obviously because it's a now smaller trailer, it can hold much less. I think with silage it can hold like 38,000, but with sugar beet and potatoes it can only hold 21,000. Okay, here is number 2. Now this is the Frase mod. If any of you have seen my Belgique Profound, one of the maps I've played, I've only done one episode so far, but I hope to release another one soon. I said about this Frase mod for using it for silage. Now it only costs £5,000, so that is all the facts out the way. Now basically the best way to show you this mod is to use it. Now I've got the Stewart trailer on the back, which I need to in a second switch from like corn carting, like wheat and all that, into a mode where it will be silage. Okay, so the best way to show you this, like I said, is in a practical environment. It's got plenty of lights, so you can see exactly where you're going. So I've got some silage next to me, so if you need to cart silage, instead of you having to use a front loader to load up trailers, this is a much quicker way, and you will see why. Alright, so you just lower it to the ground, and then basically then you can turn it on. All you need to do then, simple, drive into the silage. As you can see, it is now spitting the silage out the pipe into my trailer. Now as you can see, look how fast it is loading up my trailer. Obviously that's my trailer load filling up there from obviously the Frase. Now you just need to keep on moving forward every so often so it keeps filling up, but as you can see, as soon as it stops you just move forward and then more comes into your trailer. Now you can see that took literally about, what was it, 20 seconds to fill up, so making this mod extremely useful for when carting your silage. Now you can just fold up the pipe and it's ready for transport. Okay, coming in at number 1 is my favourite implement and tool out of them all. It is the Krone Ultima CF155XC. Basically it's a baler, it's a Krone baler. Now it does everything you want. So first of all I'll show you how to load it up. So you open up doors on the side, you can see lighting, that's the attention to detail here. Now you have to buy for it separately is net rolls and foil rolls, not costing much. The net rolls only cost 500 and the foil rolls cost 1,200. As you can see, I've got them on a pallet here. Now all you do is pick them up using X and then you implant or slot them into the side. They each have a slot, so you can fit 2 of these 3 of the net rolls in the side, sorry. And then there is lots more room for and then you can see around here there's much more room for the foil rolls, because obviously you need much more foil to wrap the bales with than you need net to keep the bales sort of together, if you get what I mean. So as you can see, this is where we insert the foil rolls off the pallet, so you just keep on loading them up, and I will not bore you and load and end up put that down. Alright. Yeah, I will not bore you with a video of me just filling it up, because it does take quite a while. This is 143,665 for the baler, which is quite expensive, but, well, not too bad for a baler actually, but for the amount it does, it's very good. Okay, let's get going in a straw field first of all. It works like a normal baler, practically in a straw field, although with round bales, if you like to do round bales, this is the mod for you, because you do not have to keep on starting and stopping and starting and stopping. It does slow you down, but you end up being able to keep on the move, so you don't really feel like you've stood there for ages waiting for a bale to come out and waiting for the back to drop again so you can start going. You can literally keep going. Now you can change the size of the bales by pushing K, which is what you can choose between 1.3 meters, 1.4 meters and 1.5 meters. Now unfortunately I also have a shortcut with K, which is for a higher rent mod, so that is why that screen is coming up. Obviously you have the normal controls, as you can see down the left, which is turn on and turn off the baler with B, and then you can lower by pushing B. Now as you can see, as we get going, it starts filling the main chamber. That is all the main chamber is how full you are. Now as you can see, I can bring up a camera which I can see behind me, so you should see a bale in the press chamber. That is from going from the main chamber onto that back part. Now all it does is it slows you down while it goes in, and then eventually the bale will go on the back and then it will tip off the end. Now if we're doing grass, as you'll see in a minute, that will then wrap. It does slow you down, but it does not lose any when the bales come from the main chamber to the press chamber. It does not lose any of your straw. basically, as you will see, when we unload this bale onto the back, you'll see it goes up much quicker than before. Now, onto the grass. Now this is where the mod takes the full advantage of, well, of its aspects. Basically, obviously we've got the camera up again, and now let's get going in the grass field. So, basically, same routine. I think I've got it only on 1.3 metre bales instead of the 1.5 that I had it on in the straw field. Now, fills up pretty much the same. So, basically, now we slow down. It slows down automatically so that you don't have to do it now. The bale comes out quickly. Now, as you can see in the camera, instead of having to keep on looking, you can actually see the bale starting to spin and get wrapped by the foil. Now, that is, it does take a reasonable amount of time, well, a normal time to wrap, but as you can see, the tractor slows down so that it won't fill up before that bale is dropped. Now, as soon as that bale drops, we will speed right back up again until we get to 100%, and we start to put on the bale onto the wrapping station. And as you see, it starts wrapping again, and then we slow down. Now, after a while, it can be slow progress, but you already have wrapped bales. Now, I do use this when I'm close to the farm, but if I'm doing a lot of baling, I will actually not use this mod. Main reason being, when you wrap the bale, you cannot use an auto stacker like the auto loaders. So what I tend to do is I tend to just have to not use the wrapping mode and just bale it, and then what I will end up doing is using the auto loader with the tractor and carting it back to the farm, and then using the small, like the normal wrapper, because it does take a long while to go around with the telehandler and place each one on a bale trailer, which in a field of this size, as you can see, I mean, we've already got 3 or 4 bales in this row. Alright, that's been the video, guys, but thanks for watching. Pretty much the usual. Please like, comment, and if you can, it'd be absolutely great if you could subscribe. As usual, all the mods will be in the description for your download, so I hope you enjoy them. But this has been the PC Farmer. See you next time.